just been chatting. I was like, we can just keep rolling.
We can just keep going on that, yeah.
Well, welcome to Who the Fuck Closed Last Night, the service industry podcast. And we're here at Candlelight Tavern with Scott and Chris. I don't know if I'm getting it. Who's Scott and who's
That's
Chris?
funny. We've been together for years, and even our family mixes our names up.
Yeah, as long as you're together.
Yeah.
And we can just jump right into it.
Yeah.
I'm Jacob. This is Chad.
I'm Chad, yeah.
And like I said, we're here in Candlelight Tavern. Here on, I don't know what the cross streets are. I should have looked at that.
Alameda
and
Pearl.
Yeah.
Alameda and Pearl.
Yeah.
And you guys have been here for as long as the...
About 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Waiting for you to set up.
It just started. Yeah, it took us a second.
Yeah.
We get the whole setup here.
Well, let's start. Yeah. How long have you guys been bartending at Candlelight?
I've been here going on 27 years now.
Wow. Heck yeah.
I started here probably about 22 years ago.
Wow. Man.
Yeah. And it's been open for about 28 years.
Yeah.
They've had it for
Oh,
28.
no.
Yeah.
Dave's had it for 28, but it was at least 25 years before that as well.
Oh, right.
So it's Candlelight Tavern because that's the original sign out there.
Yeah. It's been here a long time.
So yeah, it was obviously you were here a few years before, but were you right when they opened or just after they opened?
After Dave bought it?
After Dave bought it.
I lived right up the street, so I used to hang out here even before Dave bought it. But I got to know Dave when he bought it, and I was working at the Palm Steakhouse downtown, and he kind of recruited me from there. But I knew Dave about a year and a half. He had owned it before I started working here.
Yeah, it's usually how we like to start everything off here is kind of asking you guys which obviously we know what you've been doing the past 20 plus years.
Yeah.
But kind of your experience and...
Well, we started working together
Yeah.
in 92, so over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Out at a bar called the Emerald Isle in Aurora.
Uh-huh.
And then off and on, I went to the Cricket, he went to the Palm, and then both ended up here. Yeah. They tried to get me to come here a couple times to do some Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays, and then my first shift here was their first Christmas party.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So they asked me to fill in for that night.
Is that like on Christmas Day?
No, it's in the
just
middle
a
of
employee
December.
Christmas party. We all go out.
Needed someone else.
We have someone fill in, but that was a good night.
It was I knew Dave long before I even filled in, and so these guys started while I bartended, and there was a little bit of drinking going on, and then they came back afterwards.
Well, we used to play dart leagues back then, so we would play darts till 5 in the morning almost every night. Yep. And so we were hanging out, drinking, and playing darts like we always do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he drove home.
Well, I made a poor decision of driving home. Sure. I'm not encouraging drinking and driving by any means. But, it's probably 4:35 in the morning, and I'm going down Emerson.
Wintertime.
Freezing. My truck didn't produce heat unless I drove it for about an hour. And I see a cop car way behind me coming, lights on. I'm like, oh shit, I'm done. So I just pull over and wait for him. And they pull up and he's like, oh, you're in an awfully big hurry. I said, well, I'm freezing my ass off. I just got off work, so I'm headed home. He's like, where are you working at? And I said, Candlelight. He's like, oh, is Scott working? I said, no, I was working. It's their Christmas party. So he was nice enough to come back and said, slow it down, and drove home. Got out of that. That was my first night at the Candlelight. Working. First night working. That was my first night here, but it's
Has it changed? How has it changed in the past 28 years as far as
we don't stay here as late? And
that's for sure.
It's the biggest thing.
As many darts, that's for sure.
Yeah, people don't know that about a lot of people don't know that about the industry, but that if you are industry and you are at certain bars that are industry bars, you end up staying after close a lot of times.
Yeah.
Everybody else has to leave, but you get to enjoy the after
a little wind down.
But over the years, that crowd grew to be that entitlement got to be really big. So we had to nix that 100% because there was just everyone. When we're like, okay, door guys are like, okay, everyone's got to go. They're like, not me. You know who I am, right? And that not me crowd grew, so we had to nix all that.
Well, plus our boss used to be here many of those nights, and now he doesn't make it much past happy hour.
Right. Yeah, man.
So you guys, how long had you guys been, bartending restaurant industry before you started here?
Next week I'll be bartending for 43 years, but before that, I started out as a dishwasher, busboy, host, waiter, and then started bartending.
You guys are both from Colorado.
That's all I've done.
Originally, born and raised.
I was born in Milwaukee, grew up in LA, so I bartended in LA for 7.5 years before I moved to Denver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has it always been more of those like places like this, neighborhood dive bar? That's a fun term. I want to get into that a little bit, but. Has it always been kind of more casual places?
Like in California, I did nightclubs, I did fine dining, corporate restaurants. When we started the Emerald Isle, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's closed right now. But if you want to buy a great property, it's the best view in Denver area.
Sunsets right on
Overlooks Cherry Creek Reservoir with the mountains behind it, and that was a high volume. But when we worked there in the '90s, that's where, when I got that job, the first manager I worked for, I go, well, if you don't give me better shifts, I got to go to the Emerald Isle. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, they want me over there. He's like, how did you get that gig? And I told him, and he's like, you just got the best gig in Denver. And I didn't know, because when I applied and everything, I didn't know the volume that they were going to do, but it was a hot spot back then.
Yeah.
It's where all the Broncos hung out and stuff, and live music.
Yeah.
Outdoor patio. It had everything that you wanted, but it was lined to get in that joint.
Man, yeah.
So you learned how to, that's where he learned how, and you learn how to step up when you have to step up.
Right.
Yeah, I started out I actually am from Colorado, but my first restaurant job was in Lincoln, Nebraska, Valentino's, and just serving there, and then Florida a little bit. And I was fortunate enough when I moved out here, my grandpa actually owned the Emerald Isle, so I had an inn there.
That's where you guys met.
Yeah.
Was the Emerald Isle.
So I started out as a server, and then became his bar back for a little bit, and then bartending eventually.
Yeah.
So
And then managing.
So what was that?
and managing.
Was that just a couple years before this, or?
I worked there
that.
from 90 to 98.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, same. And then I actually started working at the Cherry Cricket at the same time. I was doing both, and then became full-time with the Cricket. He ended up here after the Palm, and then slowly I ended up just doing Friday, Saturday nights with them when they got busy enough to where they needed 2 bartenders those nights, because back when he started, everything was handwritten on a calculator.
Oh, man.
There was no computer anything like that.
Yeah.
It got to the point where they did upgrade to computers, and then he was so busy on the weekends, and they asked me if he wanted to work with him, and I said, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Hey, heck yeah.
But here back in the day when I first started, I brought in a lot of industry people, and this was classic dive bar. This is like Class C dive bar. That was classic dive bar. When I started back in the day, we'd come here way before we worked here. And, homeless people bring their carts in here, and it was ghetto.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
a cool ghetto, and but when I started, a lot of industry people started getting off work and hanging out, and it was a great crowd. But as we gradually got busier, we lost a lot of that crowd, because some people like sitting at a empty, quiet bar, dark, quiet, empty bar with a few people, and I understand that totally, but I'm like, we're not going to slow down for you,
Right.
It's very unfortunate, but
Yeah.
because having a bar of all bartenders and servers is pretty cool.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, and the strategy of becoming an industry spot.
Yeah.
Where if you are the place that the industry people are drinking, they're going to tell people to go to your spot.
And people do say that. Where are you going? And
I'm going to the Candlelight.
And that's the thing about bartenders in general. The smart people ask bartenders where they like to eat. What's your favorite, blah, 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 because bartenders hear it from everyone, so they try the best of the best, and amongst them, I know where you can get the best tamale, or whatever,
Yeah.
It's drink, whatever atmosphere you're looking for. People say, what bar, what are you looking for?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, fuck Yelp, man. That's not going to tell you anything. Ask your bartender.
Right?
Well, there's also places, I think, especially for industry people, that, I can't speak for all of them, but you're always looking for that place that's going to serve you without giving you too much of a hassle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you sat there and saw how many shots you did, they'd be like, just sitting I worked at a Fridays, they'd be like, you get in trouble for serving somebody like that. You know what I mean? Whereas here, they know, they're like, let's go to the Candlelight. They know what's going on, and so that's where we became that late night industry people come in and you know push it to the last of the last call. You're not
I mean, we
kicking-
do 2 o'clock every day of the year, so people don't have to think about it. There's those bars that you drive up to that you like, and they're closed early because they weren't busy or something. It's like you're shooting yourself in the foot by doing that, because everyone that drives up after that probably not going to go there again because they don't know whether you're going to stay open or late. But if there's one customer in here, we'll stay open till the last minute.
So, and a lot of times, you have maybe a spurt of where it's really slow, and some people just have that mentality, let's just lock it up and go. But that last hour, you might have 10 people come in, and you're going to make a couple $100 just an hour's worth of work of taking care of people who know what it's like. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
I'm not going to say this place, but there's a location near me, a bar near me, that started advertising an industry night on Mondays, but they close at 10 o'clock. So I'm like, well, we're not going to be fucking there.
You're getting off work. Right.
Exactly. That last push when it is a lot of industry people or people who work, those people tip better.
Yeah,
as
who's
well.
coming in at 10, who's getting off at 10 first?
Yeah,
exactly.
Other than the bagel deli or something like that. But you're like,
I'm going to be there till
industry
12.
night is late night.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we do. The nice thing is we do 20% off for industry people too.
That's
so
awesome.
All industry,
Yeah, that's huge.
There it is.
Yeah. Besides the industry people, you've also built. I mean, you have to build regulars, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Can you tell us some regulars that have been here as long as you have?
Yeah, I've had regulars follow me from other bars since day one. Mm-hmm. But there's people that have got engaged in here, have gotten actually married in here. Their receptions are here. There's been a handful of people that have been hanging out here way before us. Back
Go look at that bar right
back
now.
in the old school. Yeah,
Bunch of old dudes there that have been coming in here forever.
Yeah.
I mean, we were getting set up. It's like how many bars are pretty much are full where people have to start sitting at tables at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Have you ever had any kids of regulars that have become regulars as well?
Yeah.
Grandkids.
Yeah.
Grandkids?
Yeah.
I was about to say,
I mean-
that's what I was pulling up. I had met someone that works over in Cherry Creek, and it was Amy Cromier? I don't know.
Amy Cromier?
Yeah, I don't know. You probably met a million Amy's.
At least.
But
There's one behind the bar right now.
Yeah. This girl, she was like, my mom was a regular, and then now I go over there after the end of my work week, and it's just sick.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even my kids come in now once in a while, or my oldest.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you don't even picture that happening 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a 13-year-old, and I can't even imagine that right now. I'm like,
hey, Dad, pour me a beer.
I used to bring my kids here and there when they were born,
around.
for our meetings or whatever. But we have people coming in. I just text my dad, told them I'm hanging out at the Candlelight, and they're like, uh-oh. That's where it starts.
Yeah. I mean, we've been fortunate to have a really good regular crowd that comes through. And
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we observed you guys on a very busy. What was it like? It was like a busy Thursday.
Yeah, it might have been a Wednesday.
Might have been a
I
Wednesday.
think that's usually when we hang out, so we came in.
if we were both here, it had to be a Thursday, Friday, or
Thursday,
Saturday.
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
It had
what
to
it was
be,
then.
Thursday. And you guys, there's probably, I don't know, what would you say, 60, 70, maybe even 80 people.
Oh, yeah, it was
So it was empty. Come in on a Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all right.
There was no more than 75.
Man, but you two, excuse me, you two guys, it was like, I mean, as being bartenders, it was like watching a dance. Like, it was like, you could tell that you guys communicate without even speaking, and you were taking care of everybody so seamlessly and keeping the bar clean, which is also like a skill set that a lot of young bartenders, when they get busy, they start ignoring the cleanliness of their bar.
100%.
But my favorite moment was you saw that my beer was empty, or getting close. It wasn't empty. It was about here. And all you did was point at me. And I was just nodded. You knew exactly what beer. And you went to pour it. And then you saw that my beer was almost empty. And you pointed at me. And I pointed at you. And you looked, and he was right in front of you, and just started humping him.
I wish I could say that was the first time.
Oh shit!
It was incredible. We were just so blown away. Can you talk a little bit about like what makes a good bartender? Whatever style, what makes a good bartender? What are the core elements that you have to?
Wow.
Oh man.
I mean, like if I was teaching somebody,
Yeah.
you know, like when I learned, I was very fortunate. You know, the management pulled me aside and said, "We want you to be a bartender,"
Right.
and I was like, "You got the wrong guy, because I don't even know what gin is." You know, I was a server. I was green. I did not know anything. I drank beer.
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, we want you to be the guy." And everyone I worked with hated me because they were there, wanted to move up to get that job.
Right.
And when they picked me, they had an amazing training program. And so I think being a good bartender is learning from the right people and wanting to be good, number one. Like, because when I was a kid and I learned how to bartend, I think one of the things that made me really good at what I did was, one, I was an athlete and wanted to be the best at what I did. So I would look at everywhere I go, what people were doing, why people liked them,
Yeah.
and try to be better than that, whether it was accurate, honest, consistent, fast,
Yeah.
funny, flair, whatever it was. You can throw a little bit of all of those into your repertoire, and just got to look at people and go, that dude's my style and he's good at what he does. You know, you have to have somebody to look up to and go, wherever you go. Like, I can walk into a bar and tell whether or not those people care about their bar by the way the bottles are set up or whatever. You know, it's like somebody here really cares. And looking for those kind of things in anything you do, you should try to be the best you can. And I think that, you know, if you go into any job and don't try to be the best you can, you're not going to be worth anybody. Nobody, you know, you have to want to learn, you have to want to be good.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think that, I mean, and guilty as charged, I think the hardest part about this industry is that most people going into it are only looking at it as a temporary thing. They don't necessarily, you know, rarely do somebody go and be like, bartending is what I want to do the rest of my life. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, every year, like, I'm going to go to college next year.
Not a lot of lifers. That's the term we use.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to find people who are actually motivated to do the job that they're supposed to do, no matter how much, you know, you tell your kids, no matter what you're doing, do it 100% and do it to the best of your ability.
Absolutely.
But you know, that's a hard part when you're young and trying to teach kids. Secondly, you know, I mean, you have to have the gift of gab, which we've both been very fortunate to have. And a lot of, like, especially with the younger generation, you go in there on their phones or, you know, what do you want? And they're done. But I would say the two biggest compliments that we've got as bartenders here is, one, either from husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, they want their significant others to come here because they feel safe. And that's what we like to provide, as a safe environment. And secondly, the other big compliment that we get is, it doesn't matter who you are, you're straight, gay, what race you are, what religion, as long as you're a good person and you're having a good time, we're down with you being here. And that's, you know, those are two huge compliments, at least in my eyes, as far as what we try to provide here at the Candlelight.
Yeah, well, that's like something, I mean, beyond just building regulars to survive as a business, building a culture behind the place that you're going into is so important. So like you were speaking to, having that culture where my wife feels safe going there, my girlfriend feels safe going there, but also they're gonna engage with me, and it's not just gonna be, you can get a beer and a shot anywhere, man.
Right.
Like, what makes you stand apart?
Exactly.
You know?
We had these guys one time, and I think it was we get a lot of compliments, but one of the biggest compliments I can say that I've been a part of, he's been a part of, was we have these guys from Eastern Europe that were in Denver for a symposium on making your area peaceful, bringing together and these guys just happened to, they were stopped in here on their way up to Keystone for this symposium, and they stopped in here and they were like blown away. They're like, you guys should be speakers at this symposium because you guys have taken your neighborhood, not just your neighborhood, but your community, and the people here all feel like part of whatever is going on. And everyone's having a great time, whether it's ethnicity or whatever. Everyone is getting along, and you can't, you know, that's a cocktail you can't make. You just,
Absolutely.
everybody it comes in here, you know, we smell the bullshit and sift it out, and everyone in here, we try to make sure it has a great time.
Well, in the neighborhood too, like Dave and Lisa have made sure that there's at least 3 holidays during the year that it's a free potluck for anybody in the neighborhood that wants to come eat. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, you can come get a meal here if you don't have anywhere to go.
Your family's
they
out
give
of town,
to the
something like
Ronald
that.
McDonald House to make sure they're taken care of. So, you know, they give back a lot, and the community notices that. And it's just, it's now the neighborhood's changed a lot over the years because those people can make a lot of money selling their house, and now we got a younger crowd coming in.
Yeah.
You know, that you got to relate to them and get them to become regulars here too. So, but yeah, everybody that works here has done a good job of trying to make sure the neighborhood is at least taken care of. You know.
Yeah, you're just community members. It's not really about necessarily being the best at this or that. That helps a lot. You know, being the best at shaking a cocktail or pouring a beer, but
and
being
it's
the
crazy
best
to me.
person you can be in.
We try to have fun. You know, sometimes you come to work and you're just like, you got stuck in traffic and you're not in the mood and stuff like that. We try to build each other up, and we have a lot of fun. We like you said, what we were doing, we try to joke around. That eases tension. People are like, what the heck? You know, is that legal? You know, they're like, what are we? You know, we do stuff that today's day and age might be inappropriate, but we're just having fun, and people like it. We've had a lot of people, even just recent. People are like, when we're at the computer, they say, you guys should be mic'd. That would be a reality show.
Yeah,
because
we can do it.
in any industry. but us, he'd be divorced in an hour, episode 1. But people actually have said that. And we had a guy recently, we knew him and his wife, and he's like, you guys have been working together how long? And we told him, he's like, are you guys actually talking back there?
Like we're just mouthing
Like
words.
we're like... And we've had a couple people say the same thing. Are you guys actually talking? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you guys have been working together over 30 years, and you guys are talking?
He's like, what do you still have to talk about?
He's like, points to his wife. He's like, I've been married 12 years, and we don't talk at all. He literally wanted to take notes of conversations. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, really?
Giving like relationship advice.
Right. But I mean, you know, we make each other laugh, and we have a good time, and that kind of spirals around the bar, and other people have a good time. But you know,
that's a rare thing too, to like, you know, I mean, in this industry, to work at the same spot just is a testament to how good the culture behind the bar is. And behind, you know, and with Lisa and Dave, like building that culture. A lot of places we're known for like people coming in and out and going on to the next spot that's better, hopefully. But none of us want to do that. I mean, all of us want to find a spot like you guys have found.
When I started bartending in California, it was kind of an unwritten rule that bartenders moved on after 2.5 years because you kind of got sour of the staff, or you got sour of the regulars or the rules. So you just kind of, that was a transient thing that it's like, okay, time to move on. But when I moved out here, I've only worked in like 3 bars and since 1990, and I kind of got to know, you know, that you live off the regulars, they live off you. You're having a bad day, you see a certain person, they bring you up, something like that, and it goes back and forth, and you know, you develop more of a family with staff members. I've worked with some of the most amazing people in the world, and you know, you see good ones come and go and move on, but our staff is amazing. You know, we like you said, him and me, the way we move, our cook Dano, our day crew, everyone here, we can pretty much look at and go, if I'm working with that person tonight, it's going to get done. You know, it's going to get done.
Yeah, one thing I was going to, just because you mentioned kind of we've been talking about the development of the culture, and there's this term neighborhood bar that has sort of started to take over what some people have called dive bar. How do you guys sort of perceive that term? I mean, I feel like dive bar is sort of like, it's almost an older term now, just like with how like online everything is and everything. Like when I think of dive bar, I think of a place that like a cash only type place.
Right.
Like 15, 20 years ago.
There's people sleeping.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as like, how have you guys seen sort of that that term and that idea of
Yeah.
like what going to a drinking establishment is.
Yeah, they still call this a dive bar, which to me, like if I walked in here, I'd say, like you said, this is a great neighborhood bar. I was born in Milwaukee, and there's bars like this on every corner. It's a great drinking city. And people from the Midwest, you know, they're like, oh, I used to go to a bar with my dad in Wisconsin like this. And this has very much got a Midwestern feel. And Denver's got a lot of Midwesterns in it. But,
Tons.
yeah, this is definitely a neighborhood bar, you know.
It was divey when you first started.
Sure. I'm just saying, like, even now, you pull up and there's not very many cars, and a lot of the people walk here.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great. Yeah, Lisa told us some stories of the transition of like some guy driving a motorcycle in here, fights happening all the time, and you know, like that can be that can scare a lot of your best regulars away.
Well, that's like when I started working here. I want to say I was picking up Sundays. I was working at the Palm End here, and I was breaking up 3 or 4 fights a night, and I'd be like jacked on adrenaline, and you know, Dave wanted to make the money he was making at that point in time. I'm like, you can't allow this, you know, you got to kick these people out. And by doing that, it makes, like he said, makes people feel safer, and they don't mind coming in saying that, oh, I'm in this seedy dive bar. People still call it a dive bar. What, we have draft beer? I mean, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, what's the term?
What is your term of dive bar? Right. We don't have, you know, stuffed olives or anything, so we must be a dive bar.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed since those days. And I mean, the best thing, too, is that between he and I and our door guys, usually we nip that stuff in the bud. You can see it starting or getting ready to. And I mean, actually, one of my favorite stories is a couple weeks ago, this cooler, we have, you know, some beer in there, and we normally don't have it locked up because we're in and out of it a lot. And these guys sitting back here been stealing beers out of it, and our cook caught him. And you know, we're busy. I think it was Friday night.
Yeah, it was packed.
The guy's trying to run out to get out of here, and Dano, our cook, is like, Scott, this guy's stealing beer. And the whole bar.
So I go run around.
Boo! Just go
on the patio.
Screaming at him.
I'm like, this guy was stealing beer, and everyone stands up. What? You loser! And the whole way, he's like just walking, like, what did I do, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's got your back here. That especially the ones that have been coming here forever, and you know, when you first started and early on, you know, you got to clean it out to where those things don't happen as often, and they almost never happen anymore.
That's right. That's incredible. I also heard that one of you guys used to kiss every single woman that walked in the bar. Is that
I
true?
think I've kissed every woman in the world, so it might be me.
Lisa told us that when you were engaged, they were worried that was going to stop.
I actually had to have a sit down with them. And, you know, they were making sure that none of that was going to stop. That the body shots would still happen, and hugs and kisses and all that would still go on. But
that's incredible.
That's what makes relationships tough for bartenders.
Oh yeah,
that's a great topic in itself. You know, if you guys have been doing it.
We've approached that just in relationships in general. You know, we work different hours than most people. I have a handful of normie friends, and I barely see them because I'm off hanging out when they're asleep. And same with, you know, like if you have to have a very understanding partner, I imagine. Because I'm still single because of that. You know,
all my plants are older than every one of my relationships, and I am not proud of it, but it still hasn't worked out to me to this point. You know, I'm dating somebody who's in the industry, but even she gets off early. You know, when I get off, it's 3:30. I go home, and people that get off work at 5, work 9 to 5, they don't go home and get in bed.
Right.
You know, you've got to wind down. You got to do your shift drink, chat, bitch about what happened that night, go home, watch TV, do whatever it is that makes you wind down, and then you sleep till noon. That's really hard on any relationship, you know. No matter how cool the person is, it's very difficult to.
I've managed to be married 26 years, but I have been married to him longer than that.
I mean, how does that? You know, I'm sure. So you said you have kids. You have kids also.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as, you know, just all the elements of living in this world, which we've talked about a number of times, holiday seasons, all that stuff. Like, how has that been for you guys? Just
I saw you guys did that podcast, Life Without Weekends and Holidays, and that is tough, especially come Thanksgiving, because Wednesday night's the busiest night of the year, and you got to work Thanksgiving night too. So that's caused many stress in our house for sure. But I mean,
it's a lot.
It's just you also got to be like, hey, this is their money making time of the year. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Wednesday before Thanksgiving's busiest night of the year. If you want Christmas presents, Dad's got to work.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's the gist of it. But I mean, going back to what you were saying about him kissing all the girls, the two things he told me when I was starting out, because he taught me to bartend, was one, don't close early, because then once you close early, you're screwed. But the other was, he's like, if you have girls in your bar, you'll have a busy bar.
Yeah.
And, you come in
make
on the
women
weekends,
feel welcome.
People are always shocked. They're like,
and,
how do you guys have so many good-looking girls in here? Because we're a couple fat old guys, and there's some really pretty girls that come in here.
Yeah.
And, but a lot of it is the fact that we make sure it's a safe environment, and they hear about it from other people, and,
it's been good.
We're so charismatic.
I mean, leading up to this episode, we were so pumped about it, but like every single person that I told, we're going to do an episode with Candlelight, every single one, this is, in the Low-High area. We're like, I fucking love that place.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, yeah, I love going to that place.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys are like, to me, the quintessential like Denver bar, It's like a neighborhood.
You guys are staples. You're your hometown heroes.
Also, like,
one way or another.
The cool thing about bartenders is we know all the other bartenders as you do, and the more you train people, or the more bars you go into, it's that Kevin Bacon thing. You're like, do you know so and so? Oh, like Peter and stuff like that. It just you end up. It's a family. Whether it's this bar, they all come together.
Yeah.
I know you said that he taught you to bartend.
Yeah.
Was there anyone early in your career that was like really pivotal for you and like learning, when you were in LA or anything like that? That sort of.
I think the ones that I learned the most from were the ones when I was young, and I watched them and saw what was working for them, and there wasn't a person's integrity or personality that I learned a lot from, but as far as skills, I did. I have worked for managers that to this day I'm like, man, it's like, it's kind of like teachers in school. I probably had one good teacher in my entire schooling career, and when you have managers that know what they're doing and are hard workers and do it well, you really learn from that. That trickle down. If people above you are good at what they do, that's why I kind of want us to have people learn by, looking at us and kind of from experience, learn by not what we say, but how we do it,
Absolutely.
Not afraid to get in the trenches and get crazy and do bus, whatever,
Yeah.
It's not like I just have to do this. It's like we all have to help each other.
Man, yeah. We've talked about this of leadership is make or break in this industry.
Yeah.
Just like the mentality of like, most restaurants only last 2 years. It's a really volatile industry.
Yeah.
It can be if you have bad managers, bad leadership.
Yeah.
A place can be. It could be smooth sailing for a place for like 3-4 years, and it can be 2-3 months of a bad manager that can run that place into the ground. And having that example of like, hey man, we all learn from each other. We all need to be pushing each other. How can we do this better?
You see it in Denver, especially now with all the bars closing every day. And 2 weeks ago, I think 3 bars closed in one day: Pub on Pearl, the Hornet, and Cap City. And that was all in 1 week. And I remember back when I used to go Pub on Pearl, it used to be busy as shit during the day or during that time. And, somewhere down the line they screwed up. What it was that did it exactly, who knows? But if you're not doing the right things, you're not going to last.
Exactly. And to happen
like
real
you
quick.
said, leadership, management, you can walk into a bar or restaurant and go see what link is missing, kind of, and a lot of times it's management, because you're like, why is that manager not in the trenches? Where are they?
Yep.
You know, why are they not bussing tables if they're this weeded? Or, you know, I mean, that staff isn't going to learn from anybody if you're not there to show them how to do it right. Nowadays is a really hard time to learn, though, or I mean, to manage, because people are. The younger generation is just downright lazy.
Yeah.
There is no second gear.
Right.
And, you know, I think it has to do with, I always said, you know, hire athletes because they can multitask. And I think multitasking is a huge thing in this industry. But I think one of the biggest downfalls is all cars right now are automatics. Yeah, because when I grew up, you knew what second and third and fourth gear was, and fourth got you there.
Yeah.
Now everyone runs on first gear, and you're like, and then all of a sudden the place is packed, and no one's even moving any faster than they were.
Oh, man.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, that skill set of like knowing how to shift those gears, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Of knowing, like, all right, you know, like right now, I'm building relationships with the people at the bar because I got the time to do it.
Yeah.
But now. The entire place is
walks
full.
in.
All right, I'm gonna get you two talking, and then I'm gonna
let's get a drink now, and I'll see you in 10.
Exactly, because I've got to like, and you know, I think that it takes a certain type of person. It's almost like it helps that you're like, if you're ADD, to where you can multitask, and you actually can't sit still well, where your attention is always
100%.
going over the place.
100%.
Because I love that. I didn't think I was going to be in this industry as long as I was. I was an athlete.
I think I'd be alive this long.
Did you guys get into the industry like thinking you were going to be doing it for the rest?
No,
was
not
just
at all.
Close. No,
not at all.
And just fell in love with it, or just
I mean, my first time was I was in college, and I originally was working the desk at the dorm, and all that money went to my college bill. I didn't see a penny of it, and my cousin worked at the restaurant. She's like, "Hey, I can get you a job there if you want." I was like, "Hell yeah!" And you know, it just became a convenience thing, and I never finished college, so it just became my go-to.
Hey man, I've tried other things. I tried to do like a corporate sales thing where I was sitting at a desk making calls. Oh, dude, I was miserable. It was during COVID, and I was.
What were you selling?
I was selling advertising to cannabis companies, and which seemed like it was going to be a lot of fun.
Westward.
Amazingly, but then I'm calling, you know, all these dispensaries who are worried that they're going to be shut down the next day, being like, "You want to buy some advertising?" They're like, "Fucking no, dude! Like, I don't."
I may not be here tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But it drove me nuts, like doing like presentations and just sitting on my ass, and I don't do well sitting down. You know? So as soon as COVID was done, I was like, I'm going back to bartending. I can't do this anymore.
It's always been that good fallback for a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
Bartending
No
during
matter
COVID
what.
sucked because it was more babysitting than bartending.
Oh, sure. Were you guys? Well, you guys. That's when you opened the patio, right?
Yeah.
It was
You had to if you wanted to have anybody.
But everybody tried breaking the. You know, it's like, man, we
constantly.
can stay open if you do these rules. People would get up and go sit next to people that you're like, dude, just sit in your seat.
Well, and you know, every bar there's always people that come in by themselves and they want to meet people, and you can't do that during COVID, you know. Unless you want to yell 6 feet apart, you know. It was a miserable time to be in the business, but
it was
Well, it
crazy.
changed a lot too, you know.
well, that's I think it right afterwards. Like if I go out anywhere in the suburbs, if you try to find something to eat after 8:30, it's still like that. I'm like, why are you closing at 9?
At dinner time.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but they've trained those people now that get out early and be done early. And it benefits us that we're open late, and you know, all those places decided better to close early. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either.
Yeah, man. I was talking, just sort of, because I mentioned, you know, Hammer Curtis, the cricket. You know, I was talking to him. There's this guy I work
He's a
with.
classic.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he got out for a while, and now that he's back at the cricket, it's you know.
I replaced him at the cricket the first time I got fired.
I was talking about, because there's this younger guy. He's like 21, and he works at the restaurant, and he's a support, you know, busser guy, and he's just like was really interested in bartending. And I was talking to Hammer about that, and he's like, "That's really crazy. You don't really see quite as many people just even interested in doing this as a career, like outside of a college job or something." And what do you guys think's, would be a way to like show those younger people, people that don't want to go to college, people that aren't like interested in those 9 to 5s, like how could we as like, I'm 32, so I'm like not a whole generation. It feels like that when I talk to someone that's 22 because they grew up with like phones in their hands and stuff.
Sure.
But like as far as showing them like, hey, like this is a world that we want to like leave for these younger people as we get older. And
it's a good question.
I mean, it's scary to see where it's going. The AI is coming on fast, and you don't know how that's going to affect it. I saw an article, I didn't really read it much, but just the headline of Taco Bell rethinking AI because someone in the drive-thru ordered 18,000 waters.
Oh,
yeah. It was like,
I've said this is kind of one of the harder to replace because these are
right.
It's about the space. It's not really about drinking because you can spend way less on drinks and go home and drink.
Yeah.
It's not always about the food because you can get food anywhere, but it's about the space,
the socialization.
Yeah, I mean, I once said that I like to think that this is probably a job or a role I would take on if we were in a utopian society and money wasn't a thing. There would still be bars and restaurants. There would be places where the community came together.
Sure.
Yeah. And just as far as like inspiring those people younger than us or much younger than us,
it's for a certain type of person, I gotta say, because like the social skills now are definitely declining. So as a bartender, to find a younger person with social skills to where like you might say to a young guy, you're not going to school, this would be good for you, because like the guy you brought in here, Charlie,
oh man,
that he's Johnny Hustle, and you can see that right just when he walks from A to B. He does it with a sense of urgency and timing, and you're just like, nowadays I don't think you could tell somebody to walk faster without them being offended, or I mean to teach somebody to like, can you just do that but do it faster? It's hard to say that, and it's hard for them to understand it. What do you mean faster?
Man, I think I had never actually thought about the fact that athletes are probably pretty prone to this, but I think part of it is like accepting feedback. When I was playing basketball,
exactly.
If I'm getting yelled at by my coach, I don't take that as offensive. I'm take it as I need to correct that right now.
That's because you're a little bit older school.
Right.
Now, if you're 15 years younger, that coach would have given you an award even though you were the worst person on the team. So nowadays, even coaches aren't allowed to say, can you run faster?
Right.
Right. It's like everybody is walking on eggshells no matter what they're doing. But if you excel at something and you do take that yelling, my dad was a coach and he didn't do anything quietly. So you did it, and that was it. You just never asked. And I've worked with people that couldn't stand a certain manager because he would make servers go home crying. They would leave crying because they were like so upset the way he would drill them. And I'm like, well, I don't understand why you don't like him, because he's never said a word to me. So it's like, if you do your job, you're under the radar, man. Just do your job,
Exactly.
What?
It's like when you're a kid, you're not going to get hit if you're being good. So just be good.
But I think the industry itself is changing in ways that aren't necessarily good either, because, you can try and get in a good spot, and we're, I think the two of us at least have been fortunate to always be in a bar or restaurant that is very successful. And I think that a lot of these places that are opening now, and it's super tough, and I understand.
Shout out to Dano.
And, one of the things you see is these places, especially in the fine dining industry too. My wife took me out for my birthday, and it's part of a restaurant group, and it was super nice, but you're going to have a hard time getting good staff in there because they do the whole tip sharing. They add a surcharge on your check.
Don't get me started.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, now I'm not going to go work in a place like that because I got to split my tips with the whole staff of the restaurant, that doesn't make sense to me. You know, the reason you try to move your way up into the positions we get to is because you know the benefits of there. If we're all going to make the same, then I might as well go be a dishwasher somewhere.
For sure.
And I
Put
think
on
it's
the
the way
headphones,
they're
no
trying
responsibility.
they're trying to ruin, I think, a lot of the industry in that respect, where they just, it's all about, I get it's hard to pay their bills, minimum wage is a lot higher, leases are a lot higher, but to try and take that away from your staff is not the way to do it. And I
Who's
think
qualified, experienced,
right, and
good at what they
you see
do.
it changing in that way, where there's a lot of places I refuse to go because of that very reason. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking to a guy. This guy right here had a place he started with that had such a complicated tip share program.
I still don't know how I made money at that restaurant.
You probably didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was something they got like, they came from like the southeast.
Yeah.
And then something they had to become compliant because they weren't even paying everyone enough, like hourly or something. I quit and like a couple months later,
As
I got like
everyone
a check.
that works at those
I was like,
places
"What's
should."
going on?"
Oh,
I was like,
all the good people left.
Yeah, I was there for like a month and a half, maybe. But yeah, I mean, they were just playing that game of like rotating, like, oh, this manager has a problem here, we'll get rid of them, we'll fly someone out from the other, like,
Sure.
they're going to rotate.
Consistency.
Yeah, that was like, they're just like that revolving door because they're just like, we're not going to, so they don't even want to listen. And that's also part of it, right? Like, you know, you mentioned good and bad managers, like people, like everyone in all parts of the restaurant, you know, you have a bartender that's like, hey, this thing that we're doing sucks.
Yeah.
And then you have to have, you know, owners or managers that are willing to listen to the other professionals.
At least listen
This is
and
such
have
a very
reason
collaborative.
Why yes or no?
Yeah.
Completely.
Because everyone wants it. You don't want to be slow and like not making tips. You want to be busier. Like, how can I be busier? How can I get more asses and seats? You know, during the daytime. You know, how do we fill this bar up from the moment we open to the moment we close? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what their job is.
Yeah. But no, I think you started saying that there was another COVID thing. There was the tip share thing. I'd never seen it before.
Right.
And I've seen places do it right where they're doing it by shift, and all the tips are going to their employees, and encourages people to work hand in hand. But yeah, your best people are going to go other places, and you're not going to survive.
Well, even if you're working hand in hand, I don't really think it works. It might work in very small amount of places where they've just really got their crew is just money.
Exactly.
But
like performance-based scheduling works.
Me and my
but
girlfriend were in a place recently, and we're sitting at the bar. We got done with a massage, went to have a drink, and we're like, let's just have a quick drink. Then we're like, oh, let's have an appetizer. The bartender was very charming and really on her game. And I'm like, this is the bar that I would sit at.
Yep.
And so we ended up having a couple more drinks. A couple of other people we knew showed up. And next thing you know, she's got 10 people at her bar, and we'd been there for a while. And we tab out, and she's like, I want to let you know that we grat 20% and it tips shares. And the fact that she said that, I liked it, because I hate it when it's in small print.
Oh, yeah.
And you double tip, and people, you find out later, you're like, what? But anyway, she told us that, and I'm like, I was really bummed out for her. I tipped her cash on top of it, but I'm like, so you're telling me you have to split this with who? She's like, the whole staff. And I look at the dining room, and I swear to you, the dining room was bone dry, and there's 4 servers sitting at a table talking. I'm like, so you're splitting with all of them and the busser, dishwasher, and you're the only draw in this entire
Right.
I'm like, where's it? She gets $100 and she's going to get what, 15 of it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Come
No,
on.
I mean,
There's no way of saying that that's a good system.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, not to. Oh, it'll piss you off even more to know that like the 20%.
There we
in case
go.
you weren't pissed already. Well, like the
Where's
way it
those
is.
Fernettes?
Yeah. Where it is legally right now, that like, since that's not, because managers, you can't be on a salary and take tips, right? Like that's like your thing. I mean, you guys know, like that is your money,
Right.
Doing that 20% thing, because people in their heads, swiping the business card, they're like, okay, cool, I did that. The gratuity is done. That money is just, it's no different than making your burger more expensive.
Exactly.
Right? It's just money the
Yeah.
business is getting, and they can do they could actually not give the employee that at all.
That particular company is being sued for
one of
doing
them.
that.
That one that I was talking about is, but there's plenty of them that do that, and you know, I think that's something that a bill that should be enacted in Denver, because those little hidden fees, like you said, it's the price of the burger and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, what's this 3% for? This is one place downtown. They got the new toast system, so they enacted 11%. To pay for their computer. You're like,
I asked him, what is this for? He's like, oh, it's to help pay for toast.
Yeah,
I'm like, my job's not to supply your computer system, man.
That's the price of the burger. And you know, that
that's what I'm saying,
transparency needs to be like, you know, all those you go to Ticketmaster or an airline.
Oh, yeah.
It's all a bunch of crap, and they're all learning from each other that they're getting away with it.
That's exactly
And that's the bummer.
Nickel and dime.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's like I'm fine with the thing getting more expensive. Like a 6-pack cost me more than it did when I'm in college.
Sure. Yeah.
When I was in college 10 years ago, it's like, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
But don't show me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why. It's like, why am I just getting the whole business?
I know of a place, and I don't want to say where it is because someone I know works there. And every time you swipe a credit card, and I actually don't want to say this here because Dave will do it. They'll be like, wait, you mean you can make money doing that? Every time you swipe a credit card, they charge $3. So if you order a $6 beer, it's a $9 beer.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, because here,
What, a
unfortunately,
credit card fee?
they call it entertainment fee or something like that.
Wow.
But every time, like, unfortunately here,
there's
it's
just
kind of
like
annoying
stuff
every
going
time
on,
where people are like, close it, just close it for now, just close it for now. And they do it 5 times. You're like, oh, this could have been so much easier. But
leave the tab
But
open
can you
until you're
imagine
ready to
charging
go.
$3 every time you swipe the card?
That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah, I get that it's annoying, but my God, that's
I'd be embarrassed to hand the customer that
absolutely.
beer.
Yeah.
$6 beer. What's the $3? Oh, we charge that for.
That's for the entertainment you just had.
Do you feel entertained now? Wasn't that fun to get
You look
over
so
to
happy.
entertained?
You look so happy.
entertained, man.
Throwing a little jazz hands after everyone.
Well, I know I definitely wouldn't want to upset Dave or Lisa because this is also a Detroit Lions bar.
Yeah.
Specifically Lions, right?
Yeah.
Not any other teams in that part of the world.
Well, he's a Vikings fan and I'm a Packers fan,
Okay.
so
You guys are doing great now. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a little mad at y'all.
I bet you would be. I bet you would be. I don't know why you did what you did.
I don't either. It's driving me nuts.
Actually, the Lions play the Packers first week, so we'll see how. He might not have a job. We'll see.
Packed on a Lions game.
Do you wear a Green Bay jersey
if I'm
when
working
they're?
one of those, yeah, I usually do. You know, most of the people here, there's a couple wise guys that got something to say, but trust me, I got a quick tongue. But but most of the people here I get along with, and so does he, and you know, I'll deal with their crap, and it's just a game to me. You know, and that's all everything should be, is just a game.
People are always shocked that they think that only Lions fans work here. They're like, "Oh, you guys love the Lions." I'm
How do
like,
they hire
"I'm a
you? Why
Lions
do you
fan."
work
They're like,
here? Why do you?
You're a Lions bar, aren't you? I'm like, they don't only hire Lions fans.
And I was going to say, they were walking into that just being like, well, if there were any good bartenders that were Lions
the
fans.
only person that's a Lions fan. Literally.
Oh, he has the bars.
It'd be a hard time finding employees if they had to be Lions fans.
Yeah.
Denver seems like that. It's become that city too, where it's like there's so many people are from somewhere else that it's a good strategy to have your bar be that. You know, Occidental over in Lodi, they're a New York bar. So anytime the Giants or Mets or anybody playing, they're packed to the gills.
Yeah.
Because everybody in Denver, it feels like now, everybody's from somewhere else. They've all, you know.
You said you're a packed. It's what's the place called?
Green Bay.
No,
Kentucky
I know
Inn.
that. Is Kentucky Inn also a Packers
Packers bar, yeah.
Badgers is what I was thinking. Isn't that a Packers bar?
Badgers and Spanky's downtown.
Oh, a number of
That's
Packers
still there.
bars.
That's a tiny place, but they pack them in too. But
That's what it's about.
Well, isn't there that other one downtown by Ted's? It used to be.
oh yeah,
I don't remember.
it's like a
what
brat house.
I mean, I have no professional sports team alliances because I grew up in Alabama, so
Nobody.
I mean,
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. I was going to say it. But you know, it's fun to watch a big dog fall, you know? Saying you're an Alabama fan is like being a Patriots fan. No one gives a shit about that.
Exactly like that.
One of our bartenders, he's a Saints fan too. But,
Yeah, man.
those days are gone.
That's right. Oh, man.
So you're a little hurt after last week with the Florida State loss.
No, I thought it was funny. Yeah. I went to a smaller school in Alabama. I was in the marching band, so I'd get paid for my team to go lose. We were like in the OVC. So like, yeah, they just like pay me in the marching band money to go watch my team lose and play on the field.
What'd you play?
I played cymbals for 4 years. Funny enough.
Wow.
It was fun. I could do all the fun of being in the band because we had a really strong program, but I didn't have to learn that many notes. So I just it was all about partying and drinking for me, you know.
Yeah.
They gave scholarships for that?
For partying and drinking?
No, playing cymbals.
I would have graduated with honors in that.
Yeah. How did somebody say I want to be a cymbal player?
Well, it was all the guys that were when you're like just shitty enough to be.
You're a drummer,
to be a drummer, but they don't want to lose you.
Yeah, drum squad.
You're great on the cymbals.
Yeah, you'd be
and
great.
The triangle.
Yeah.
Here's the triangle.
Yeah.
I would never tell you have a face for radio.
I did. Once in the wintertime, I had a triangle solo, just like one note. The whole band just up. Ding.
Mess that up and put you in the cymbals.
Yeah. They're like, wow, this guy's great.
That is awesome.
Oh, just imagine the anticipation. You just
Yeah.
wait.
Oh,
Here
it was great.
Just wait.
No, there's like a minute of me. He's like, you just gotta be ready.
Here it comes. Here it
Oh
comes.
yeah, no, it was fun. Our program, like we were like throwing the cymbals in the air and doing all sorts of shit. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a very.
That's like that could be like juggling knives.
Yeah, yeah, it can get dangerous. But I just started bartending, and that was way more. That provided a lot more.
So you guys, it being in the
You're like, I'm
business,
not getting laid in the marching band, so I'm going to go straight to the top.
Yeah,
I'm the bartender.
it went a lot better.
That
for
was
me after
smart.
Yeah.
what is your guys' favorite hangouts in Denver? Because obviously the Candlelight's kind of new to you, but
It is. We for me, Occidental, which is like right next to where I work in Lehigh.
You live up there too?
I live in Westminster, so if it's like a day off, I'm usually there's a place called Punch Out or something like that. I think they're about to go under because they've made a lot of terrible choices.
Yeah.
But their fish and chips is good, so I'm gonna keep getting it until they're done. But Occidental is great because they are like industry focused punk bar, and then the L, our buddies over at the L are great.
I mean, I worked there briefly, and obviously I've just all my best friends work there. That's always a catalyst for having a hangout.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked where I work in Cherry Creek now. It's actually for a long time I didn't hang out at any of those bars. I would just like come to this part of town, and now I like to hang out with the cooks and stuff, and they actually go out. Unlike my last restaurant, so the Cricket's definitely become more of a.
That used to be a great bar back in the day, way back when Curtis worked there a long time ago. That used to be. Now it's like a restaurant that has a bar in it. You know, little kids running around, and it's just so huge. Yeah. But back in the day, that was a really cool, classic industry bar.
Yeah,
good bar crew, good servers, and a lot of industry people hung out there.
Yeah, I mean, I only see it late at night, so it's still just people drinking after work. But definitely.
for Cherry Creek, that's their dive bar.
That's exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's that in Milwaukee Street Tavern, right?
Yeah.
And so, but that's what I tell people. Like, these are the diviest places in
this
Cherry Creek.
Which is the closest you're gonna get.
But
it is so interesting. Lord. So you guys have seen the shift in the drinking culture too. Where mixology wasn't even talked about 30 years ago. 20 years ago.
Yeah, the 80s and 90s for sure.
80s and 90s. So, like, even the way people... What are ways that, like, when... give me an example of a drink somebody asked for that you made completely different 20 years ago. Or is there any examples like that?
I can't. What's the one we can't stand?
Totally different. What?
I can't stand when people... Can I get a ranch water?
Oh, ranch water? Yeah.
You mean tequila soda?
Tequila soda? Yeah, we have that.
Oh, you want some lime in it?
I mean, the kids nowadays too. They come in. It's like they went through the book of the 20s and 30s, and they're like, "Let me get one of those cocktails," you know. And you're like, "I don't carry that shit."
Martinez or some shit.
I don't care. Yeah. You're like, "Can I get a sidecar?" You're like, "Get out of here."
One of my first jobs was a old school. It was fine dining. It was on Route 66 between Hollywood and Palm Springs, so it had a really old reputation. But it was all old timers, and so you were doing, Brandy Alexanders and sidecars and all those old classics. So I knew all those old drinks.
Right.
Now they took it up a notch with the single cube and the smoke and stuff like that. But there in LA, there were some of those old bars back then where those cocktails originated.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is really cool.
That's interesting. I've seen a lot of people do, like, asking for non-alcoholic options. Like
the younger days have gone way up, yeah.
Well, we don't do, they're like, do you have non-alcoholic cocktails? I'm like, yeah, it's called Coke.
But I've sold more NA beer this year, I think, than I have in all the years combined.
Definitely in the last
But the
few
younger
months.
generation, and just speaking from my own kids, they're much more into the other drugs than they are alcohol.
Oh, yeah, especially here in Denver,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get weed, you get mushrooms, you get just about anything.
Yeah, and they seem to be more focused on that. There's still plenty of them that come out drinking, but that's what's changed our industry so much, is trying to figure out. I remember when weed was first coming out legal, and people were coming from all over, and these kids that were regulars of ours, but one of their buddies was here, and he's standing right at the taps, ordering a pitcher of beer, and just fall straight back, and we're like, what
visiting
the fuck, dude?
from out of town,
and I'm
altitude,
I'm like, did you guys get high?
dehydrated
They're like,
and
"Well,
high
yeah." I'm
as
like,
can
dude,
be,
he
and
doesn't know what good weed is. I'm like, there's no
weird
more
times,
shitty
man.
weed.
It's weird
you know
times.
what I mean?
That's why I can't smoke anymore. I wish there was shitty weed still.
Right.
You could be alive a little longer.
Well, now it's
Coherent.
anytime somebody brings you something to eat, the first question is there weed in it?
Yeah. Well, mine is when they hand me something, I'm like, can I have some Danish? Because this has got to go with something.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been an incredible. We've looked forward to this so much.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, we super appreciate you
yeah.
guys taking some time out.
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for choosing us.
Of course, man. Absolutely.
Great time.
Honestly, we look up to you guys.
And
Like, we want to.
We can only go on for days, but
We can do it too, man.
Yeah, you hit those little topics once in a while, and I'm like, don't go there. It's morning still.
Absolutely. Well, guys, definitely come to the. Got to come here. Come to Candlelight. And we appreciate you joining us. Come see these guys at work. It's really an incredible thing to watch.
You'll have a good time.
Yeah, you'll have.
You
a
don't
great
know how
time.
much longer we'll be around.
Don't throw me under that bus.
Get it while the getting's good.
Absolutely, guys. All right. Well, another
that
episode
wraps
of
us up.
Who the fuck closed last night?
We did it.
Who is closing tonight?
That's
Me.
this guy.
All right.
We can ask that tomorrow.
We can ask that
I'm sure
tomorrow.
that's what Amy asks all the time. She's
She
like, "Which
already
one do you
knows.
choose?"
She can tell.
She
She can tell when she walks in.
Oh, man.
I guarantee you sit next to any of these people.
Denver bottles.